The soft glow of the peat fire paints the ancient stones of the hearth in shifting shades of amber and gold, each flicker a silent syllable in a long and peaceful story. This light, so much older and gentler than the bright electric lamps of the modern world, does not merely illuminate the room. It seems to soak into the very fabric of the space, warming the deep shadows that gather in the corners and lending a soft edge to the sturdy oak furniture that has occupied these same positions for generations. The air itself feels heavy with tranquility, thick with the scent of burning turf, a sweet, earthy perfume that speaks of the wild Irish soil from which it was cut. Outside, the Atlantic air currents move against the cottage with a presence that might sound eventful elsewhere. But here, cocooned within walls of solid granite that are several feet thick, the sound is transformed into a deep and resonant lullaby. It is the sound of safety, a constant reminder of the impenetrable barrier between this pocket of serenity and the untamed world beyond. The deep-set window, its small panes latticed with dark lead, offers a glimpse of the weather, a moving tapestry of wind-driven rain that streams across the glass like liquid silver, distorting the already deep darkness of the night into abstract patterns of shadow and light. Yet no draft penetrates this ancient barrier. Not a single tremor of the weather's power is felt within this sanctuary, where the only movement is the gentle dance of the flames and the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of your own breathing, a quiet counterpoint to the vibrant music of the elements. The stillness inside is profound, a living presence that settles over you like the thick woolen blanket draped across your lap, its weight a comforting anchor in a world of peaceful stillness. The great stone hearth that dominates one wall is more than just a source of heat. It is the very heart of the cottage, a focal point of unwavering warmth and constancy that has likely burned without interruption through countless autumn seasons just like this one. The stones themselves, blackened with the soot of centuries, seem to hold the memory of every fire ever lit within their rough-hewn surfaces, a library of warmth whose stories are told not in words, but in the deep, radiating heat that penetrates your clothes and settles deep within your bones. The peat burns not with a sudden, crackling energy like wood, but with a slow, smoldering intensity, its embers glowing a deep and vibrant crimson that seems almost alive. From time to time, a piece of the compacted earth will settle with a soft sigh, releasing a fresh plume of that sweet, nostalgic smoke and a shower of gentle sparks that ascend the vast chimney flue like fleeting stars disappearing into a dark sky. You watch the lazy curl of the smoke and the hypnotic pulse of the embers, a form of meditation that requires no effort, allowing your thoughts to slow down and drift away like the smoke itself. This fire asks nothing of you except that you accept its gift of warmth, its silent companionship in the deep and peaceful night, a steadfast guardian against the cold and the dark that exists harmlessly on the other side of the stone walls. The sheer permanence of this structure, this hearth, is a profound comfort, a testament to the idea that some things are built to last, to provide shelter and peace not just for a lifetime, but for many lifetimes woven together by the common thread of a glowing fire in a safe harbor. The sound of the rain is a complex and ever-changing symphony, a performance for an audience of one. It is not a simple drumming, but a vast orchestra of individual sounds that merge into a single hypnotic whole. There is the soft hissing of the fine spray as the wind atomizes the larger drops against the window panes, a sound like the gentle turning of 1,000 tiny pages. Then there is the heavier, more percussive impact of the main downpour on the thick slate roof above, a steady and rhythmic beat that is both powerful and profoundly soothing. This is the sound of the world being washed clean, a relentless cascade that erases all other noises and distractions, leaving only its own pure and constant presence. Occasionally, a particularly strong gust of wind will drive the rain sideways in a sudden brief cascade that taps against the glass for a moment before subsiding back into the general drone, a brief crescendo in the ongoing composition that only serves to highlight the unwavering strength of your shelter. You can distinguish the subtle difference in tone as the water streams down the walls, finding ancient channels in the stone, and the deeper gurgling sound from the gutters as they channel the immense volume of water safely away to the earth. Each sound is a thread in a tapestry of tranquility, weaving a blanket of white noise that cocoons your mind, insulating it from the chatter of the day and allowing it to settle into a state of deep and restful calm. This is a sound that does not demand to be heard, but is simply there, a foundational layer of peace upon which your own quiet thoughts can rest without disturbance. Your chair, a heavy armchair upholstered in worn leather and softened by age, seems to have been sculpted by time to provide the perfect form of comfort. It holds you in a gentle embrace, its high back and deep wings shielding you from any stray drafts that might have dared to breach the cottage's defenses, though none do. The leather is cool to the touch at first, but quickly absorbs your own warmth, creating a pocket of perfect temperature that is neither too hot nor too cold. Its surface is a map of its long life, a network of fine cracks and deeper creases that tell the story of the countless quiet evenings it has presided over. You can feel the solid weight of the oak frame beneath the padding, a sense of unshakable stability that mirrors the cottage itself. You shift your weight slightly, and the chair responds with a soft and friendly groan, the sound of old wood and leather settling into a new position of comfort, a sound of contentment. The woolen blanket across your lap is heavy and soft, its natural fibers holding the warmth of the fire and creating a gentle pressure that is deeply reassuring to the nervous system. Its scent is clean and simple, a faint aroma of lanolin and the open air in which it was dried, a smell that connects you to the sheep that graze on the green hills just beyond these walls, a gentle reminder of the simple and enduring cycles of nature that exist just outside this timeless room. On a small wooden table beside your chair rests a single mug of herbal tea, its steam rising in a slow, graceful spiral that is visible for a moment as it passes through the firelight before disappearing into the shadows. The mug is made of thick pottery, its surface a deep, earthy brown glazed to a soft sheen, and it feels warm and solid in your hands. You lift it, and the heat radiates through your palms, a small, personal extension of the hearth's greater warmth. The aroma that rises with the steam is a subtle blend of chamomile and lavender, flowers known for their ability to soothe the mind and invite sleep. It is a scent that is both clean and calming, a gentle fragrance that complements the earthy smell of the peat fire and the faint, clean scent of the rain-washed air outside. You take a slow sip, and the liquid is a wave of gentle warmth that travels down to your core, loosening any knots of tension that might remain from the day. Break time 2.0s. The taste is mild and slightly sweet, a flavor of meadows and quiet gardens that feels like a distillation of peace itself. There is no sharp jolt of caffeine or sugar here, only the pure and simple essence of calming herbs, a potion brewed for the sole purpose of relaxation. Setting the mug down, it makes a soft, clinking sound on the wooden tabletop, one of the few sharp sounds in this world of soft tones, yet it is not jarring, but rather grounding, another small anchor in the deep harbor of the present moment. The shadows in the room are not empty or unsettling voids. They are deep, soft pools of darkness that feel as comforting as the light. The firelight does not banish them, but rather collaborates with them, creating a gentle interplay of light and dark that gives the room a sense of profound depth and mystery. The corners of the room recede into a velvety blackness that seems to absorb sound and worry alike. The high ceiling, supported by massive beams of ancient oak that are almost black with age, is mostly lost in this gentle darkness, giving the impression that the room extends upwards into infinity. The firelight catches the edges of these beams here and there, revealing the rough texture of the hand-hewn wood and the faint marks of the adze that shaped them centuries ago. These are not the sharp, defined shadows of a modern room, but are instead soft-edged and fluid, shifting and swaying in time with the flickering of the flames. They seem to breathe with the fire, expanding and contracting in a slow, silent rhythm. You watch as the shadow of your own chair is thrown against the far wall, a large and protective shape that seems to stand guard over your peace. The darkness feels like a blanket, a protective cloak that wraps around the core of light at the center of the room, creating a space that feels both intimate and boundless, a private universe where the only law is one of serene tranquility. In this gentle gloom, your eyes can relax, freed from the constant presence of bright lights and strong stimuli that define the outside world. The silence beneath the sound of the weather is another layer of the profound peace that fills the cottage. It is a silence born not of emptiness, but of immense solidity and insulation. The thick stone walls do not just block the wind and the rain, they seem to absorb the very noise of the outside world, leaving behind a quality of quiet that is almost tangible. Within this deep quiet, even the smallest sounds within the room take on a special significance. You can hear the soft sigh of the peat embers as they settle in the grate, the almost imperceptible whisper of the wool fibers in your blanket as you shift your position, and the slow, steady beat of your own heart, a quiet drum marking the passage of a time that has all but stood still. This is the kind of silence that allows the mind to finally become quiet as well. There are no distant sirens, no hum of electronics, no intrusive noises from neighbors to snag your attention and pull you out of your reverie. The world has been reduced to this single room, this island of warmth and stillness in the midst of the active Atlantic night. The quiet is a form of nourishment for the soul, a rare and precious commodity that allows for true rest and introspection. It is a silence that feels ancient and earned, the same silence that has filled this cottage for hundreds of years, a constant presence that has welcomed generations of inhabitants seeking refuge from the world's clamor. You breathe in this silence, and it feels like you are breathing in peace itself. The very air you are breathing has a quality of purity and age to it. It is not the dry, sterile air of a centrally heated building, but something far more organic and alive. It carries the complex bouquet of the room's history on every molecule. The dominant note is the sweet, earthy fragrance of the smoldering peat, a scent that is uniquely Irish, evoking images of misty bogs and rolling green hills under a soft gray sky. Woven into this is the faint, dry scent of ancient wood from the ceiling beams and the heavy furniture, a smell like the inside of a treasured antique box. There is also a subtle mineral tang that seems to emanate from the stones of the walls themselves, a cool, clean scent like a damp cave or the air after a summer rain. It is the smell of the earth itself, a reminder of the raw and natural materials from which this sanctuary was built. And beneath it all, there is the faintest trace of beeswax from a past polishing of the oak table, and the clean, comforting scent of the wool blanket. Even the old books resting on a nearby shelf contribute their own unique perfume to the mix, the dry, slightly sweet smell of aging paper and leather bindings. To breathe this air is to breathe in the story of the cottage, to take its long and peaceful history into your own body, allowing its essence to calm your spirit from the inside out. Each inhalation is a confirmation of your safety and seclusion, a sensory experience that deepens the feeling of being completely and utterly at peace. Outside the small-paned window, the weather continues its grand dance, a spectacle of nature's power that is made beautiful by your complete removal from it. From your vantage point of absolute safety, you can appreciate the raw artistry of the elements. The rain does not simply fall, it is driven in horizontal sheets by the wind, a great flow of water that scours the landscape and drums a relentless rhythm on the roof. In the briefest flashes of distant light, so far away that their sound is a barely perceptible rumble felt more than heard, the world outside is momentarily illuminated in stark monochrome. For a split second, you see the ghostly shapes of ancient windswept trees bending low before the power of the wind, their branches tossing with graceful motion. You see the sheen of water on the slate roof tiles and the glistening surface of the stone walls as the rain cascades down them in miniature waterfalls. And then, just as quickly, the image is gone, plunging the world back into a profound and comforting darkness. These fleeting glimpses of the weather's energy serve only to amplify your own sense of security. They are a dramatic performance put on by nature for your benefit, a show you can watch from the best seat in the house, wrapped in warmth and completely untouched by the drama unfolding just a few feet away. The knowledge that those thick stone walls and that heavy slate roof are more than capable of withstanding this display allows you to relax completely, to view the weather not as a concern, but as a powerful and beautiful expression of the natural world, a wild lullaby sung by the wind and the sea. The concept of time seems to warp and dissolve in this environment. The rhythmic and repetitive nature of the sounds around you, the steady drumming of the rain, the gentle crackle of the fire, the slow pulse of your own heartbeat creates a hypnotic cadence that disconnects you from the structure of the clock. There are no sharp sounds or sudden changes to mark the passing of minutes or hours. The light from the fire is constant in its inconsistency, its flickering dance unchanging in its essential character from one moment to the next. The darkness outside is absolute, offering no clues as to whether it is early evening or the deep heart of the night. Break time 2.0s. In this timeless space, there is no need to think about what comes next, no schedule to keep, no appointments to meet. The past fades into a distant collection of memories that have no hold on you here, and the future is an abstract concept that can be safely ignored. All that exists is this single, eternal present moment of warmth, safety, and peace. Your body understands this release from time's relentless march even more than your mind does. Your muscles unclench, your breathing deepens and slows, and your entire physiology shifts into a state of profound rest and regeneration. This is a place outside of time, a pocket of eternity where the only imperative is to simply be. You are free to drift on the gentle currents of your own thoughts, or to let go of thought altogether and simply exist in a state of pure sensory awareness, anchored in the here and now by the comforting weight of the blanket and the steady warmth of the fire. The massive oak beams that span the ceiling overhead are a testament to the craftsmanship and strength of a bygone era. They are not the smooth, uniform planks of modern construction, but are instead vast trunks of ancient trees hewn into shape by hand with an axe and an adze. Their surfaces are a rugged landscape of texture, with deep grooves, knots the size of a fist, and the occasional mark of the carpenter's tool still visible after centuries. Stained nearly black by generations of wood smoke from the hearth, they seem to absorb the firelight rather than reflect it, adding to the room's sense of deep, comforting shadow. You can imagine the immense effort it took to fell these giant oaks, to haul them to this spot, and to hoist them into place to form the very skeleton of this cottage. They speak of a time when things were built to endure, to stand against the seasons of not just 1 year, but of centuries. There is a feeling of immense security in lying beneath them, a sense of being protected by a structure of incredible strength and permanence. They are like the strong arms of a gentle giant, holding the roof aloft and keeping the wildness of the world at bay. Following the line of one beam with your eyes, you can see the intricate patterns of the grain, a silent history of the tree's long life written in the wood itself, a story of slow growth, of seasons of sun and rain that long predated the cottage itself. To be in their presence is to be connected to a deep and reassuring history, to feel a part of a long chain of existence that is both humbling and profoundly comforting. The floor beneath your feet is made of wide planks of stone, great flags of slate or granite that were likely quarried from the very land upon which the cottage stands. They are uneven and worn smooth in places by the passage of countless feet over countless years. Their surface is cool underfoot, but in the wide circle of warmth cast by the hearth, they have absorbed the heat of the fire and now radiate it back into the room in a gentle wave of comfort. A simple, hand-woven rug of thick wool lies before the hearth, its deep colors of russet and forest green muted by time and the soft light. Its texture is rough but warm, a pleasant contrast to the smooth stone around it. You can feel the solidity of the floor through the soles of your feet, a direct connection to the bedrock deep below. This is not a flimsy structure floating on the surface of the world. It is a part of the landscape itself, rooted in the earth as firmly as the ancient hills that surround it. This connection to the ground is deeply reassuring, an unspoken promise that no weather, no matter how energetic, could ever hope to move this place. The very foundation of the cottage is a declaration of permanence and stability. Every step taken on these stones is a step on solid ground, a reminder that you are in a place of unshakable safety, a fortress of peace built to last forever, where every element, from the floor to the ceiling, has been designed to provide a sense of absolute and unwavering security. There's a small collection of books on a sturdy wooden shelf nestled in an alcove near the fire. They are not new paperbacks with glossy covers, but old, well-loved volumes bound in dark leather and sturdy cloth. Their spines are worn, and the gold lettering of their titles has been faded by time and touch to a soft glimmer in the firelight. You don't need to read the titles to know what kinds of books they are. They are likely collections of old myths and legends, volumes of poetry, or perhaps a history of this very region, their pages filled with stories as timeless as the cottage itself. The mere presence of these books adds to the room's atmosphere of quiet contemplation. They are silent companions, repositories of wisdom and imagination that ask nothing of you but are there if you should need them. Just looking at them evokes a sense of peace, the promise of countless hours of quiet enjoyment that they have given to past inhabitants of this room. You can almost smell their unique scent from across the room, the dry, slightly sweet perfume of old paper and ink, a fragrance that is deeply comforting to anyone who loves stories. These books are not just objects, they are containers of dreams and histories, a tangible link to the minds and hearts of people who lived long ago. They represent a different kind of time, not the quick pace of the outside world, but the slow, deep time of storytelling, a time that moves at the speed of a turning page and a thoughtful mind. Their silent presence is another layer of the deep peace in the room, another assurance that this is a place for rest and quiet reflection. The light in the room, sourced entirely from the fire in the hearth, has a living quality that no artificial light can replicate. It is a soft, warm light that seems to breathe in time with the flames. It flickers and dances constantly, sending waves of light and shadow chasing each other across the room in a silent, mesmerizing ballet. This constant motion is not distracting, but deeply hypnotic. It prevents the room from ever feeling static or sterile, keeping the space alive and dynamic even in its profound stillness.
So
color of the light is a deep and soothing amber, a golden hue that makes everything it touches seem warmer and softer. It is a light that is kind to the eyes, allowing them to relax completely. It renders the colors of the room in a rich, muted palette. The deep reds of the rug, the dark browns of the wood, the soft grays of the stone all seem to harmonize perfectly within its warm embrace. You watch as a brief surge in the flames sends a brighter wave of light across the ceiling, momentarily revealing the intricate web of cracks and textures in the ancient plaster between the beams before it recedes again into soft shadow. This ever-changing play of light ensures that your mind always has something gentle and beautiful to rest upon, preventing it from drifting into worried thoughts. It is a visual lullaby, a silent song of warmth and comfort that fills the space and invites your own mind to join in its peaceful, rhythmic dance. The feeling of being completely disconnected from the outside world is a rare and profound luxury. In this cottage, there is no signal for a mobile phone, no hum of a nearby Wi-Fi router, no television screen waiting to fill the silence with noise and hurried news. Break Time 2.0. The relentless stream of information and communication that defines modern life has been completely severed at the thick stone threshold of the front door. This enforced isolation is not a cause for concern, but for a deep sense of relief. It is a liberation from the constant pressure to be available, to be responsive, to be engaged with a world that is always demanding your attention. Here, the only demands are those of your own body and spirit, the need for warmth, for rest, for quiet contemplation. The weather outside is a perfect metaphor for the busy world you have left behind, a great deal of sound and energy that ultimately signifies nothing and has no power to touch you here in your sanctuary. This digital silence allows your own internal landscape to come to the forefront. Your thoughts are your own, not reactions to a headline or an email. Your feelings are your own, not the product of some external stimulation. You are free to simply be with yourself, to listen to the quiet rhythm of your own being without distraction. This state of being unplugged is perhaps the deepest form of rest available, a true Sabbath for the overstimulated mind, and it allows a sense of peace to settle over you that is so deep and so complete that it feels like coming home to a part of yourself you had forgotten existed. The very structure of the cottage is designed for coziness and the conservation of warmth. It is not a large, cavernous space, but a series of interconnected rooms of a human scale, with low ceilings and thick walls that create a sense of being in a protective burrow or a cozy nest. The room you are in is the heart of this design, a central living space built around the life-giving hearth. Every element seems to have been placed with an intuitive understanding of human comfort. The chair is positioned at the perfect distance from the fire to receive its warmth without being overwhelmed by it. The small table is just within arm's reach, a convenient perch for a warm drink or a book. The window is small, not a vast expanse of glass that would make one feel exposed to the night, but a modest opening that allows a view of the weather while emphasizing the security of the interior. This is architecture as embrace, a building designed not to impress, but to nurture. You feel held by the room, cradled by its sturdy construction and its thoughtful layout. The low ceiling, far from feeling oppressive, adds to the sense of intimacy and security, as if the cottage has wrapped its arms around you and pulled you in close. This feeling of being perfectly situated, of everything being in its right and proper place, contributes enormously to the sense of deep relaxation that permeates the air. There is no awkwardness or disharmony here, only a simple and profound rightness that soothes the spirit and allows the body to let go of all its tension. The rhythmic rise and fall of your own breath has begun to synchronize with the gentle rhythms of the room. You inhale slowly, and it feels as though you are drawing in the warm, peat-scented air right into your core, filling yourself with the peace that surrounds you. You exhale even more slowly, and with each outward breath, you can feel the last vestiges of the day's stress and worry leaving your body, dissolving into the tranquil atmosphere of the cottage. Your breathing is the quietest instrument in the room's orchestra, a soft and steady bass line beneath the percussion of the rain and the whisper of the fire. You become aware of the gentle movement it creates in your own body, the slow expansion of your chest, the soft rise of the blanket on your lap. It is a movement that is as natural and as effortless as the flicker of the flames or the flow of the rain down the window pane. There is nothing to do, nothing to force, only the simple act of allowing the breath to happen. As you focus on this simple, life-affirming rhythm, your mind becomes even more still. The breath becomes an anchor in the present moment, a focal point for your awareness that is both calming and grounding. Each cycle of breath is a gentle wave washing over you, cleansing your mind and soothing your nervous system, carrying you further and further away from the shore of wakefulness and closer to the deep, calm ocean of sleep. The world contracts until this simple act of breathing is all that remains, a silent, peaceful meditation in the heart of the weather. The warmth from the peat fire is a gentle and pervasive force. It is not the sharp, dry heat of a modern heating system, but a moist, radiant warmth that feels incredibly natural and comforting. It seems to emanate from the very stones of the hearth, spreading out in silent waves that fill every corner of the room. You can feel it on your skin, a pleasant sensation that relaxes your muscles and soothes your senses. You can feel it in the air you breathe, a warmth that seems to carry the scent and soul of the fire itself. The heavy woolen blanket on your lap has become a reservoir of this warmth, trapping the heat and creating a cocoon of perfect temperature around you. Even the stone floor near the hearth has soaked up the thermal energy and now gently releases it back into the room, ensuring that there are no cold spots, no pockets of chill to mar the perfect comfort of the space. This all-encompassing warmth creates a powerful sense of well-being and security. It is the primal comfort of the hearth, a feeling that has been sought by humanity for millennia, the feeling of being safe from the cold and the dark in a place of light and heat. It is a warmth that feels like a physical manifestation of love and protection, a silent reassurance that all is well, that you are safe and cared for. As this gentle heat penetrates deeper into your body, it seems to melt away any remaining physical tension, leaving you feeling heavy, relaxed, and completely at ease. The world outside the cottage has ceased to be a real place and has transformed into a half-forgotten dream. The relentless drumming of the rain and the low hum of the wind are no longer perceived as separate sounds, but have merged into a single, monolithic wall of sound that defines the boundary of your existence. Beyond that boundary lies a realm of abstraction, an active and energetic place that has no bearing on the profound reality of this room. All the concerns of that other world, the deadlines, the responsibilities, the noise, the hurry have faded to insignificance. They cannot penetrate the stone walls of the cottage any more than the rain can. Your world has shrunk to the circumference of the firelight, and this reduction is not a loss, but an immense gain. Within this small circle of warmth and gentle light lies everything that is necessary for perfect contentment. There is safety, there is comfort, there is peace. The simplicity of this existence is profoundly liberating. There are no choices to be made, no problems to be solved, only the simple experience of being. You are floating in a timeless harbor while the great motion of the world continues on far away, its pace and its motion unable to disturb the placid waters of your own deep calm. Break time 2.0s. This feeling of separation is not one of loneliness, but of perfect, self-contained peace, a rare and precious opportunity to be utterly and completely at rest, sheltered from all the world's demands in the heart of your own private sanctuary. As you drift on the very edge of sleep, the boundaries between things begin to soften and dissolve. The sound of the rain outside and the sound of your own breathing inside seem to merge into a single, unified rhythm. The warmth of the fire on your skin and the warmth of the tea in your stomach become one and the same sensation of deep internal comfort. The soft shadows in the corners of the room and the quiet darkness behind your closed eyelids blend together into a single field of peaceful blackness. Your sense of self begins to expand beyond the confines of your own body, spreading out to fill the room until it feels as if you are the cottage itself. You are the ancient stones, the sturdy oak beams, the glowing heart of the fire. You are the stillness and the silence and the unwavering strength that resides here. This gentle dissolution of the self is the final letting go, the complete surrender to the peace of the moment. There is no resistance left, no part of you that is holding on to wakefulness or to conscious thought. You are simply a presence in a room of profound tranquility, a part of the ancient and ongoing story of this place of refuge, and as you drift on this gentle tide of warmth and security, the world outside fades to a distant memory, and the only world that remains is the one held within these thick stone walls, the world illuminated by the gentle, dancing light ahead, where the soft glow of the peat fire paints the ancient stones of the hearth in shifting shades of amber and gold, each flicker a silent syllable in a long and peaceful story.